Welcome back, students. My previous classes we had completed the chapter digestion and absorption, how the food materials are digested and how they are absorbed into the body, and what are the disorders with respect to the digestive system. And we also seen the anatomy of digestive system, that is where which organ is present, which region is, what are the regions which are present in the alimentary canal. All those details we discussed in the previous chapter. Now today in this class we are starting a new chapter, that is breathing and exchange of gases. Here we can also call this chapter as respiratory system. This chapter is also known as respiratory system. This is the second most important physiology with respect to the human. There are different physiologies are there: digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system. So here already we discussed about digestive system, and today we are going to discuss respiratory system, and next we have circulatory system, and then we have excretory system, and we have muscles and skeleton. So musculoskeletal system. So how many number of muscles are there, how many number of bones are there, and what is the location of a particular bone with respect to human body, like all these details we will see. How a muscle will contract, so all those will come under musculoskeletal system. And then we have nervous system, the system which runs our body, which coordinates each and every organ in our body. And we have endocrine system also, the hormonal system. So we have so many types of hormones, they are regulating so many body functions, so we have to know about endocrine system. And reproductive system. Like this, different types of physiologies are there with respect to human body. So that's why all these systems are known as human physiology. So how each and every system functions in the human body, those details we were discussed under human physiology. And one by one I will try to explain each and every system. Today, as a part of this series, we will start respiratory system. So what is the difference between, we have to know breathing and respiration. We have to know the difference between breathing and respiration. This is very basic question, and so many people also don't know this one, but this is very basic concept. What is breathing? Breathing means simply taking in air and releasing out. That is breathing. That means that scientifically we can call that phenomena as inhalation, taking in, and exhalation, released out. That means taking inside the air, that is inhalation, and giving outside, that is exhalation. And what about respiration? Respiration is scientifically the process of liberating energy, by breakdown of molecules, different molecules. That means respiration is giving energy, that is energy is liberated, and which will be useful for our body. So what are the molecules here? In the digestion chapter we discussed about what are the different complex carbohydrates and how they will be break down into simple molecules. For example, we discussed about sucrose. This is a disaccharide, this is a complex carbohydrate, and it is digested into glucose plus fructose. So these are the simple molecules. Now glucose is present in our body, but glucose cannot itself cannot liberate the energy. It has to be break down due to the process of respiration. Then only glucose will gives energy. Glucose has to break down. For example, this is the structure. Glucose is a 6 carbon molecule. C. This is glucose is a 6 carbon molecule. So different bonds has to be break. So due to the breakage of those bonds, energy will be liberated. So how that breakdown will happen? That is because of the process of respiration. Then only glucose will give energy. Like that fructose also. So the simple molecules also has to be break down by the process of respiration. Then only our body will get energy. So we will see how many types of breakdowns are there and how many types of respirations are there. Mainly there are two types of respirations. First one is anaerobic respiration and second one is aerobic respiration. So what are these two? What is anaerobic respiration and what is aerobic respiration? Respiration means nothing but breakdown and giving energy. But here what is anaerobic and what is aerobic? If the breakdown of the molecules will takes place in the presence of oxygen, the breakdown in the presence of oxygen, then it is aerobic respiration. If the breakdown occurs in the absence of oxygen, then it is anaerobic respiration. And we have to know, we will see what are the different types of what are the different types of products formed during anaerobic respiration and what are the different types of products formed during aerobic respiration. We will take glucose as an example. So, okay. C6H12O6. In the absence of oxygen, it will break down into two molecules of carbon dioxide and ethyl alcohol. See here, this is the main difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. See here, all the three types we are using only glucose. Glucose is breaking down. But what is the difference we can observe here? The glucose is break down in the absence of oxygen. Oxygen is not there, and glucose is break down in the presence of oxygen. So here, see, in one type of anaerobic respiration, this is ethyl alcohol. This is ethyl alcohol. That normally this is an alcohol which is used to drink, and this property is exploited by the industries, and they are using for the preparation of different types of alcohols. And mainly this type is seen in anaerobic bacteria and yeast. This is seen in the yeast. So what will happen? What they will do? This is a large container in the industries, and here they will give barley seeds, wheat, and soya, everything they will provide, and they will put yeast in that. So what will happen? The bacteria will take the glucose from the different food materials, and then the yeast will release ethyl alcohol. So slowly after a few days, this tank will be filled with the ethyl alcohol, and this will go out for purification and finally into the market. This is the process which was implemented in the industries to prepare alcohol. And now this second process, where it will happen, how the lactic acid is forming, and in which organisms we can see this one. This one we can see in the animals, higher animals, even in human beings also. When, for example, if you are running, normally assume you can run for 1 kilometer. You can run for 1 kilometer. You completed the target, and again you are continuing to run furthermore distance. So what will happen? Slowly, after 1.1 km, you are feeling so much tiredness, and again after 1.2 kilometers, again you can feel that I cannot run anymore, and you fall down. Why? Because during running the oxygen levels will be decreased, and now if the oxygen is there, the glucose is break down, and it will give 36 molecules of ATP. This is the energy resource. This is the energy resource. So due to ATP molecules only, we are getting energy in our body. But after prolonged running, oxygen levels will be decreased. So glucose is break down in the absence of oxygen, and it will give only 2 ATP molecules. That is not sufficient for our body. That's why we are feeling tiredness, and we will fall down. This is what happened during the absence of oxygen, and this is what present during the presence of oxygen. See here, 36 ATP molecules, so much energy is liberated in the presence of oxygen. But in the absence of oxygen, here and here only 2 ATP molecules are liberated. That is not sufficient for the higher animals. Mainly this type is present, we can see in some types of bacteria and yeast, and this we can see in the animals during prolonged exercises, prolonged running. So this is very rare, and if you stop running after 1 kilometer, again we can take oxygen, and again this process will happen, and it will liberates so much of energy, and you can run. But if you not stop and you continue to 1.1, 1.2 like that, you may be fall down due to less amount of energy. This is what happens in the human body when oxygen levels are decreased. If oxygen levels are more, then we are getting more and more energy. This is the difference between the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. This is the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So you can write the differences. First difference, The anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. And the second difference, the aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen. And here the second point, it occurs in lower organisms like some type of bacteria and in yeast. And it is occur also during in higher animals during prolonged exercises and prolonged running. So that is the third point. It is normally occurs in the presence of oxygen. Next, in this one, the energy liberated is more. Is it right? No. Here the energy is liberated in very less quantity because 2 ATP molecules are only producing. But here the energy liberated is more, that is 36 ATP molecules. And now we can write the equations. This is first equation, occur in the yeast and some type of bacteria, C6H12O6. This means glucose. Glucose, in the absence of oxygen, it will break down into 2 carbon dioxide molecules and ethyl alcohol molecule and only 2 ATP molecules. And in higher animals, in the less oxygen levels, the glucose undergoes anaerobic respiration and will give 2 molecules of lactic acid and 2 ATP molecules. Understanding? Now, in the presence of oxygen, the glucose molecule is undergone breakdown and releases 6 CO2 molecules and 12 H2O molecules and 36 ATP molecules, huge amount of energy from one glucose molecule. So this is how we can demarcate between anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. So this is the primitive concept that we have to know before we will go into the further details. Now, we will see what are the topics we can cover here. That means first we completed introduction, what is breathing and what is respiration, and second one, the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respirations that we completed. Organs involved in respiration, organs involved in breathing and exchange of gases. Breathing and exchange of gases. Organs. So what are the organs here? This sequence, as in the digestive system we discussed the sequence of alimentary canal, here also we have to discuss the sequence of organs which are involved in the breathing and exchange of gases. Nose, nasopharynx. We will see what is nasopharynx. Here nose means nostrils, also it will come. Nostrils. Nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and finally the great organ in our human body, that is lungs. Lungs. So this is the sequence of organs which are involved in the process of breathing and exchange of gases. The gases, for example, the oxygen journey we are taking from the nose, and the journey of oxygen starts from the nose and it will move towards nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and finally it will go to lungs. And then the journey of carbon dioxide starts with the lungs, and from lungs it will reaches to bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, larynx, nasopharynx, and finally nose, and then it will go outside. So this is the journey of oxygen and carbon dioxide, which is opposite in manner. And now each and every organ, the speciality of each and every region, like we discussed in the digestive system, we will discuss here. What is the speciality of nose, and what are the sub-regions present in nose, and what is the importance of the nasopharynx, and what is the importance of larynx. Larynx is also known as voice box. Voice is produced in the larynx region only. And trachea, it is wind pipe. Wind, that means air, is traveling towards the trachea. And bronchi and bronchioles, they will conduct the air from trachea to lungs. Those are all fine pipe-like structures. And the lungs, what are the structural and functional units of lungs? Those are alveoli. Alveoli are the cells, specialized cells, which are responsible for exchange of gases that are present in the lungs. So all these things we will discuss here. And now, after this sequence, how the mechanism of breathing takes place. Mechanism of breathing, that means how inspiration, that is taking in air, and expiration takes place. How these two processes are taking place. What are the physiology, or what is the mechanism which is lying behind that? Which muscles will contract? Which muscles will relax? So those details, the physiology of exchange of gases we will see. And how the exchange of gases takes place. This is mechanism of breathing. Then how the exchange of gases takes place. Gases are exchanged at lungs, oxygen and carbon dioxide, and the same gases are exchanged at the tissue level also. Those details also we will see. So how the exchange of gases takes place. And finally we will discuss about the disorders or diseases of respiratory system. Disorders of respiratory system. So like this we divided the chapter, that is breathing and exchange of gases, and with respect to physiology it is the respiratory system, and these are the subtopics we have to discuss in this chapter. Already in this video we will discuss about the introduction, the difference between the breathing and respiration. That is, breathing means the inhalation and exhalation of air, and the respiration means the breakdown and liberating energy from the food molecules. That is respiration. And the second process, that is the differences between anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. What is aerobic respiration? The breakdown of the glucose molecules or the food molecules occurs in the presence of oxygen, then it is known as aerobic respiration. And vice versa, that in the absence of oxygen, if the breakdown takes place, that is anaerobic respiration. And the energy is released is having a very drastic difference. If the molecule is breakdown in the presence of oxygen, we are getting 36 ATP molecules, because ATP are the energy giving molecules of our body. So here we are getting 36, but in the anaerobic we are getting only 2 molecules. That is very less. So that's why this type of respiration is seen in the lower organisms like bacteria and yeast. And sometimes when we are doing excessive exercises and we are doing prolonged running more than the limit, then we are getting very less oxygen levels, and as a result of that the glucose molecule will be break down in the absence of oxygen, and it will give very less amount of ATP molecules. So we are feeling tiredness, and even if you continue, we will be fallen down due to very less amount of energy. And then, what are the organs involved in the breathing and exchange of gases? There is a series of organs. In the sequence, the oxygen and the carbon dioxide journey will take place. That is, from nose, it will go to nasopharynx, and then larynx, and then trachea, and bronchi, bronchioles, and finally they will reach to lungs. And there, the exchange of gases takes place. How the exchange takes place? And before that, how we are able to take the air? We are consciously we are taking, and when we are sleeping, even you are taking breath. So both consciously and unconsciously we can take the air, and we can release the air. So how this process, without knowing it, without asking your permission during night time, that process is taking place. So all those details will come under the mechanism of breathing. What are the muscles are involved, and what are the reactions takes place in your body, and which region of the brain controls this mechanism of breathing and the exchange of gases. So that is also we have to know, because the brain is only one and organ which controls each and every organ. So the specific function of each and every organ is controlled by the masterpiece, that is brain. So here in the respiratory system, which region of brain is involved and controlling this function? And then finally the disorders, asthma, emphysema, bronchitis. So many types of diseases or disorders are related with respect to the respiratory system. So in this class we discussed about introduction and differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. In the next video, in the next class, we will see the organs, each and every organ, what is the specialty and what is the specific function they are performing while the process is occurring. So those details we will see in the next video. Until up to that, be thorough of the completed topics and revise those topics and practice the questions we will send due to the by assignments. So complete those topics, complete those question and answers, and in Monday or Sunday we will conduct an exam. So be prepared for that exam will be on digestion and absorption. Okay, so be ready for the Sunday exam, and all the best. Thank you.